For the record, this video is not going to be monetized. I do feel that that would defeat the purpose of this video, as well as the message. I will be using very minimal tags. This is strictly for if you're watching, if you're following, if you're subscribing, you will see this. If not, that's perfectly fine. I want to address that at this point as a content creator, as what some would say a not content creator, a parasite rather, I've failed. And I do feel that I have failed as a brand, as an image, as a content creator. I mainly do React content on here. It's really what I can do at the moment due to just lack of sleep, pain, dealing with things, dealing with life, dealing with so many other things. It's what I can manage right now. And that's not to garner sympathy. I understand the ethical concerns. I understand the reservations against React content. I absolutely do. On a number of occasions, I've even brought to the table, hey, this is what's going on with React content. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to be aware of. This is what is being said. And it is one of these individuals who did say things. This is a larger YouTuber. I do not condone any harassment of this individual. I do not condone any sort of interacting with this individual on my behalf. I do not condone, doing anything of that nature. The name of this individual is, of course, DarkViperAU. Pretty large YouTuber, Josh Hayes, member of other individuals do interact with this YouTuber, and this is in regards to his 14-page dissertation as of approximately 2 years ago in regards to React content, and alleging in there that stealing React content is no different than SA. Now, part of the tweet, which I will put up on here, I ended up putting, retweeting that specific section, citable tweet for how people and other creators view React content creators. It's wild to think that it's okay to call creators like me abusive. It's not hyperbolic or outdated, as the tweet is still up, thus an official statement of his brand and any company associated, which I would agree is fair. If I were to make a asinine statement in regards to something problematic, in regards to something horrific, if I were to make a joke in very poor taste in regards to, say, a tragic recent event, absolutely, I deserve any backlash, as I would be held accountable and would any company that would associate with me. I think that's absolutely more than fair. And that led into the problem here. And I chose to get into this. I chose to retweet this. I could easily just not have. And the reason why I failed is that this retweet, at the time that I took this screenshot, 30,005 views. Or excuse me, 30,000.5 views. More than any other tweet I've made. And this effectively nullifies everything I was trying to do. Everything I was trying to do with a rebrand, everything I was trying to do with trying to be more positive, everything I've been trying to do to be more proactive, to speak out, to hold people accountable. And I haven't gone to sleep. And I really don't plan to anytime soon, honestly. I've already called off my plans for SCA for the day. I've already made decisions. In fact, I'm going to have a nice big old drink after this of what I'm not inclined to say at this point in time, but just know I am intending to get a drink after this. And it's heart-wrenching that this is the one that made it. This is the tweet that people are going to see and just be like, oh, well, he's in a kip. He's just causing drama. He's being negative. He's being XYZ ABC. And I have chosen to forego sleep. I have chosen to forego eating. I have chosen to forego, which I would argue is the expectation when dealing with a situation like this. And the expectation of me for myself is that I need to work through this. I need to answer as much as I can. I need to be right there. I need to be responding, whereas someone like DarkViperAU does not. And I would argue that comes down to a work ethic thing. I would argue that comes down to the integrity of a creator and willing to deal with situations and not deal with situations. I digress. At the end of the day, I am a very small content creator, parasite as some may call, and they are not. So therefore, they do have the high ground, proverbially, if they will. I ended up getting this back. Quote, "It is not hyperbolic," quote, is a bit of a wild of a statement, as this is of the first two tweets together, and the second specifically starting with the words, "It is hyperbolic, but yes, you are a parasite, a monster, a burden on a system who has no capability to create, thus mass spams out re-uploads of other people's content, videos, with the goal of siphoning exposure and viewership from the wider finite market to yourself." I can actually verifiably, factually say that's untrue. I have a number of people that have reached out saying that they have discovered large creators, such as, I'm not going to name names. They have discovered large creators via me, large creators that they didn't know of, large creators that they hadn't watched. I have exposed people to new creators. So at the very least, part of this is factually incorrect. You are not a creator. You have no ideas. You have no creativity. You are a leech. And you know this, which is why hearing these comments disturbs you. You will sit around all day and continue to grow fat watching over other people work hard, growing above them as you create a nexus for their greatest efforts and achievements with you at the center, avoiding all the risk and reaping reward regardless. Your only soul-saving grace is the intricacies of your theft and harm are not obvious, and the people who suffer your existence will likely never know or understand. Hell, perhaps even you don't understand. Regardless, those above you who benefit the same way will shelter you, so you need not concern yourself. You will not experience just retribution for your greed. This sounds like it's getting into some weird red pill territory, whether that's true or not. Allegedly, this is getting pretty red pill. There seems to be larger deep-seated issues here in regards to certain systems. I do see people like you sometimes, and I do wonder why if you truly understand the horror, what you exacerbate, but you couldn't pay me to delve through the rationalizations. Sorry, I'm very tired. You have likely concocted it just for whatever amount you understand. Leave me be. My peace is part maintained when I forgot people like you existed. So here's the thing. Unfortunately, you don't get that. At the end of the day, you have made a comparison on your brand. People have stated what brand. You are doing business as DarkViperAU, are you not? This is what you do business as. This is what your identity is, your brand is. You have made a comparison, and people have every right to be upset over it. As people have every right to still watch you, defend you, send me videos in the comments of the thread saying, bro literally said, and it's a video saying to KYS, I took it as far as if this is the official Dark Viper reaction, Dark Viper stance, this is taken into consideration and noted. And it's how you diffuse situations. This is still public form at this point. You have proven that first tweet as this is your current stance. You are doubling down on it. You are defending it. And you have every right to be. You have every right to your opinions. Just understand that you and your opinions do have consequences on others. I have survived SA. I don't like going over that because it makes me physically ill. It makes me feel just awful to recite, to be angry, to just try to get people to understand. And people have suffered much worse fates than I have. This isn't a happy topic. I would argue that larceny would be a much better comparison. Now, I understand what people have said en masse is, well, Kip, you're just not understanding where he's coming from. I absolutely understand the, ethical dilemmas that React content faces. And I've pointed out that there needs to be ethics in this. You can't just react to a video, quote unquote react, and watch it the entire video, maybe nod twice, chuckle once, upload. That's a re-upload, homie. You can't do that. I understand that. I am open about having these conversations regarding ethics or lack thereof in React content. I'm aware of market substitutes. I'm aware of, replacements. I'm aware how advertisers may potentially favor these longer market substitutes for ads because it has a longer runtime. Therefore, you can put more ads onto it. At the very least, at the end of the day, I try to be read on these subjects. I try to understand what I can to present it in such a capacity. And at the end of the day, if you still want to watch DarkViperAU, if you still want to like his content, that is ultimately up to you. This is not a cancel post. This is not a, I'm going to do this. Well, this is the information as you need to see it. These are the stances. This is how this could be problematic, as it can harm people who have been through SA like me. And I absolutely will agree that there are issues with React content in a lot of cases where it is, yes, the market substitute, but you could have a creator where people will want to watch that React content creator over the original channel. That is absolutely something that people have concerns over, and I do think that does have validity in a lot of cases. And at the end of the day, if you have some large creators that are doing 40 plus, 80 plus, 100 plus hours in a week to get videos out, and someone can swoop in and just react to it, maybe add 10 minutes onto it or something like that. I mean, at the end of the day, I understand how that's unfair. I get how people are going to be, well, you're just slaving off the back of those. That's why I do what I can to be ethical about it. It's why I cite everything that I can. But at the end of the day, as DarkViperAU has said, even with all of this into consideration, which absolutely as, a large influencer and brand, he would be able to look at this and be like, okay, I've made my decision, an educated decision, whether ethical or not, this is his current stance, and he will stand by the cited statement, putting up again. The people who live their lives exploiting others, the labor of their careers, and their own lust for money and power are the very sort of people who would essay someone. your words, not mine. This is on public forum, and you clearly, this is still your stance. Every actor's career is specifically about ignoring consent and only respecting people when profit is at risk. I have been very open. If I react to a video that you have done, regardless of how many views it has gotten me, regardless of what it's done for me, I will absolutely take that video down. You know, whether it's DMCA, whether it's you email me directly, whether it's you messaging me via alternative methods such as Twitter, Discord, whatever. If you as a creator, I react to something that you do and you do not like it, that is absolutely within your prerogative to DMCA me or request that takedown, and I will comply with that, regardless of metrics and statistics that it offers me. That is the healthy way to do this. That is the ethical way to do this. But at the end of the day, I guess I'm just more disappointed in myself. You know, I wish I could not have gone through what I went through. Would I wish it on anyone else? No. And if I had to inflict it on anyone else, such as, you know, I can get out of this, but someone else would have had to experience it, I wouldn't have done that. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. I don't. And regardless of how positive I've tried to be, regardless of how much I've tried to make a difference and to have these conversations about the ethics and have conversations about problems that may occur within the systems and trying to break things down logically and be reasonable, this is the one that ultimately made it. This is the one that still continues to climb in views and tweets. And I have foregone sleep. I have foregone getting water, food. I feel it is my duty to answer as many questions as I can while this gets out. You know, while I'm making this. And I feel that is my obligation. Kip, you're being hard on yourself. Absolutely, I am. That is my work ethic. I am hard on myself. I'm incredibly hard on myself and do have superhuman expectations of myself. That is a character flaw that I have. And at this point, the court of public opinion and perception has ruled that I am in fact in the wrong here, you know, whether I believe it to or not to be. So at the end of the day, you know, I will still be doing React content as ethically as I can. I do have other projects that I have been working on and need to be working on in regards to non-React content. At the end of the day, though, I could honestly see from a larger creator, I could see an influx of people and to see an influx of strikes, and that could be that. So at the end of the day, I'm just disappointed in myself because I have failed. I have failed to be the healthy person I wanted to be. I have failed to be a healthy creator. I have failed to live up to the name Kizuna, bonds of friendship. I have failed that from everything that I am seeing. And this is not an apology. This is not a strum a ukulele. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm really not. At the end of the day, I don't think that this is appropriate. I think this is crass. I think this is rude. I think this is unprofessional. I think this is tone deaf. I think that this is absolutely inappropriate to make a comparison like this. Not just for me. There are people that have experienced far worse than I have, far more often than I have. And that's not okay. And if you as a creator are going to support that, if you're going to just, you know, start slinging around, well, SA and trying to diminish it and trying to, you know, normalize that it's, you know, not this, just not as big an issue as it is, because yeah, it comes with trauma. It comes with triggers, medical triggers. It comes with nightmares. It comes with trust issues. It comes with being unable to make friends and being unable to deal with people in certain aspects. It absolutely does. It messes you up. I think larceny would have been a much better comparison here. And at the end of the day, we've gone over this before. Moist Critical's gone over this, and he had his dissent on it. But at the end of the day, I mean, nothing really happened. You know, not that necessarily something should, as people are entitled to their opinions. People are entitled to whatever they think and believe. You know, just be aware that every action has a consequence, and this is not a threat. This is just reality. If I were to make a out-of-pocket joke about horrible and horrific events that happened in modern public schools, do you think I would not be, you know, oh, well, guys, just hyperbole? I would 100% be expecting that backlash, and I would deserve it at that point. That's not professional. That's very tone deaf, and it's incredibly disrespectful. And I think we can all, at the very least, agree on that. That would be incredibly disrespectful for me to do and not appropriate. It's been a very stressful day and stressful night, and we'll see where this goes. I don't want this to be my identity. I'm not going to take the post down because I think this is something that does need to be cited. I think that this is something that, you know, this is a continuing thing, you know, at the very least being aware of something, right? And at the end of the day, you enjoy watching him. That is your prerogative. You enjoy his content. That is your choice. I'm not going to vilify you for that. Your time is precious. I remember streaming to 0 people. I remember working the jobs I've worked. I remember being exhausted every single night and just wanting to play a game or watch, a stream or something like that, or a VOD. I understand what it's like to have limited time. I understand what it's like to want to put your time into something that you value or someone that you do value. And once again, this is not a, oh, well, if you follow him, you can't follow. Do whatever you want. Take the information and whatever you're going to, and make educated decisions. We're all adults here at the end of the day. And DarkViperAU knows this as an adult making statements like this. He has made statements in regards to sexual assault being, akin, analogous, if you will, with React content. So at the very least, I wanted to get this out. I feel that I have failed. I have failed to be a more positive person. I have failed to be a more healthy person. I have failed to be someone I feel a lot of people wanted me to be. And the goal is to be a more positive person. The goal is to be a healthier person. Absolutely. I'm not going to contest that. And there are posts like these, there are things like this that I have a right to be upset about. Alas, what is your informed decision on the subject? I understand if you think that this is a little too far. I understand if you're like, Kip, I can't believe that, you're going to retweet like this. I can't, I understand. And I wish you the best with, whatever you have in mind. I only divulge so much of what I've experienced for reasons that I don't want to pass that on to people that have the fortune of not knowing what it's like. And at the end of the day, I'm doing the best that I can, and it's a blow to feel like I failed all of you. Not sure how to end this. I apologize. What are your thoughts? Please feel free to definitely check. This video will not be monetized. I'll be using minimal tags because I feel that trying to make a scene out of this, I feel that trying to, push for monetization, trying to do XYZ, ABC, and try to get to as many people as possible defeats the entire purpose of addressing the people that think that I'm worth following in any capacity and saying, look, I feel that I have failed. Feel free to check whatever you have on your client side of YouTube. If you can check that, and do with that as you will. I have presented what information I have for you. I have dealt with a number of tweets. I need a drink. Let's put it that way. Thank you for watching. If you did, I would like to do a lot more content that isn't React content because I'm honestly really burnt out at this point. And I will hopefully see you in the next one.